Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Taurus April 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is, as far as April goes, the Sun will be in Aries from the 1st until the 20th, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, this could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on one's restrictions, limitations, secret sorrows, hidden adversaries, those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, the hungry. It could also be on things, as I stated, limitations, restrictions. This could also be on really could be self-undoing as well. And also, too, it could be an aunt, an uncle, and just in solitude, seclusion, private matters at this time. Now, given this is Aries energy, this could be done with a lot of fortitude, a lot of courage. It could be done with a lot of aggression and a lot of assertive energy. I mean, looking at your own limitations could be done with a lot of courage, a lot of, you could say, confrontational energy, just focusing on these things very head on. And given that this is, Aries energy, I mean, well, first I want to say that this is about, in some cases, this could be shining the light, so to speak, on an Aries hidden adversary. It could be an Aries Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or it could be simply a person that embodies Aries-like characteristics. It could also be shining light, could be an Aries eye issue at this time. When I call it saying Aries eye issue, I mean, remember that the 12th house is connected with restrictions and limitations. It could be something like a burning sensation. Since we're talking about Aries energy, a fire sign, could be something like a burning sensation or an irritant, some kind of irritant with one of the eyes, and like a fiery sensation, burning sensation. Of course, a lot of this could be dependent and predicated on aspects in your chart. I mean, if you have aspects in your chart, like say, like you have your own Sun making adverse aspect to your Ascendant. Or, I mean, this could be, as an example, I mean, if you have a chart that shows a propensity perhaps for eye issues, or you have the Sun, your own natal Sun in your 12th house or your 6th house, something that could reaffirm this, or even Saturn aspecting, making an adverse aspect to your natal Sun. But anyway, you get the idea. Can increase the propensity for this. Now, anyway, next thing up. As far as April goes, the Sun will be in Taurus from the 20th until the 30th. So the first house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, there could be a strong concentration of energy, focus, and attention on the self, self-interest, the appearance, first impressions, one's outlook, new beginnings, the physical body, and perhaps people from your early childhood, people from your that were prominent in your early childhood, the aura that you're projecting, and especially if this is actually your ascendant, your actual ascendant and first house in your natal chart. Given that this is, and also a grandmother perhaps as well, as that could be connected with the first house as well. Given that this is Taurus energy, this could be done with a lot of persistence and patience and perseverance. I mean, if it's new beginnings, I mean, perhaps especially, as far as the patience and persistence go, it could be focusing on Taurus, like new beginnings, such as doing work as a stockbroker or gardening, cultivation, work as a pawnbroker, anything with finance. And also, I mean, as far as the physical body goes, done with a lot of patience, perhaps a lot of persistence, and very methodical and deliberate energy at this time. And a lot of, and Taurus energy could be connected with very strong powers of concentration. I should know something about this, given that I do, as many of you may know, I do have Taurus rising. So anyway, And also, I mean, given again Taurus energy, it could be a little stubborn and obstinate energy as well. Taurus energy could also be very intractable. So anyway, and as far as the aura, it could be a focus on maybe projecting your very sensual aura at this time. And again, as I spoke about with the 12th house, the first house, as far as I mean, the sun is connected with one of the eyes in the natal chart. I mean, in astrology, depending on gender. And well, the first house is the physical body, so in some cases this can be about an eye issue, and it can be something, I mean, Taurus energy, of course, is very persistent energy, so it could be a problem, like a stubborn problem, basically, with one of the eyes that you're just might be exasperating you with this time. And also on a positive end, though, this could be, you're talking about the first house in the sun. This could be about having abundance and surfeit of energy. Your vitality may very well be strongly increased at this time, and increased latent Taurus-like energy especially. Next thing up, there will be a new moon in Aries on April 5th, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted at this time. Now, given this is, you're talking about, I mean, Aries, new moon energy. This could be, well, in some cases, it could be a new Aries clandestine relationship. It could be with an Aries sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Aries characteristics. It could be a new period where you start something with self-defense to defend yourself against hidden adversaries, or such as like judo or karate or boxing. It could be something too where you might make a purchase legally of legally, I definitely emphasize, of course, you should, of a firearm to combat hidden adversaries, so to speak, if you're in a dangerous area especially. And also it could be a period where you begin to really start assertively and aggressively perhaps helping those that are less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, and the hungry. Some cases too, though, this could manifest in a hidden, an Aries type limitation, or it could be, or maybe where you're actually basically at this time really starting to confront maybe an Aries limitation, such as maybe if you feel you're lacking some kind of like courage or fortitude or ability for enterprise. This could be that time where it's a new, period for that, or in some cases it could be something like an actual Aries type limitation at this time, as far as something with the head or the face, or something that might be going on in issue at this time. So I mean, because of course, it is the 12th house is connected with limitations, with restrictions at this time. Now, also too, I mean, keep in mind in some isolated cases, and it could be depending on aspects as well, and that in some cases it could be the new, 12th house is mental illness, so it could be the start of some kind of intermittent one of those intermittent explosive disorders, or but of course that could be very isolated. A lot of that could be predicated on aspects that are made at this point in time. And I mean, if you're just making an adverse aspect, say a square to your natal third house cusp, or your third or your Mercury at this time, I mean, this could be, it's basically, like I said, could be very isolated, but it's still, I see that as possible. So anyway, people, next thing up, there will be a full moon in Libra on April 20th. So the 6th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, a lot of cases, I could see this being the ending or culmination or conclusion of a Libra type employment. It could be something working as a diplomat, might come to an end, doing something with art, such as painting, sculpting, or drawing. Something connected perhaps else with the arts, acting, position acting, or being an actor or an actress, graphic art designer, anything that, or doing something connected with the law, such as working as an attorney, a judge, a bailiff, a paralegal, court reporter. And also too, in some cases, this could be about a legal settlement that might be reached over some kind of health related issue, or it may be over something employment, whether it's some kind of compensation you thought you were entitled to, whether an injury took place at work and you may not have been compensated for it. Now in some cases too, this can manifest. Remember that the full moon can be about unveilings and revelations. This could be about the unveiling or revelation of a Libra, like health-related issues, such as something with the lower back or the kidneys, perhaps. And also, too, I mean, you're talking about at this time as well. I mean, a full moon in astrology could be a time where one becomes tired, exasperated, or simply full of something. And it could be where one becomes perhaps tired of maybe somebody showing some kind of superficial charm or being overly indecisive, ambivalent, maybe overly peaceful, or something about or docile, something, a person perhaps in one's daily routine, place of employment. It could be an aunt or an uncle. It could be maybe a situation with somebody in the sixth house related, that you feel is just not fair to you, and this is the time where you really want to let that person know about it. Now in some cases this could be about a reconciliation or compromise that may be reached with somebody in your place of employment. It could be an aunt or an uncle, someone prominent in your daily routine. It could be somebody that you knew well in your health life, such as somebody at a health and fitness place, or someone that you might have rendered service to at this time. And also this could be about an arbitration situation, in some cases coming to an end, that might be tied in to perhaps your employment somehow, or working, or what have you. So anyway, hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, next thing up. As far as April goes, Mercury will be in Pisces from the 1st until the 17th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, this may manifest in ambiguous and cryptic communications, perhaps with friends, acquaintances, people that you may know at some group, club, or organization. And also it might be where you're thinking, so you're a little bit confused, maybe ambivalent regarding your future. In some cases this may manifest perhaps in being very, perhaps prophetic about your future, and thinking very intuitively where you want to be at a later point in your life, and idealistically as well. Now, again, Mercury, as I've stated in previous videos, Mercury, of course, it could be also about siblings. This could be about Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant siblings, or simply ones that embody Pisces characteristics. Might figure more prominently in your goals, your aspirations, perhaps in some group or club you might be, organization you might be involved in. Perhaps more in social networking and social media, perhaps. And also too, be careful as well, because Mercury can also be about thieves. This could be about Pisces thieves. They could be Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Pisces-like characteristics that might be involved in some group or club that you might be in at this time. It could be people, I mean, you're talking about the 11th house, it could be maybe people over the computer, over the internet, that are trying to get into your, your system, and try to get into some information, private information. You may have, these people can be very, I mean, Pisces energy, of course, could be very duplicitous and deceptive, and very good at really projecting their facade. And I mean, it could be people coming in, acting, like, one of those things that come in and say that they're trying, they get into your system, and you feel, and they do it very, in just such a way that you don't even know what, basically what happened until after it's basically taking place. And so those are, I mean, these could be people that you, like I said, you may know at some group, at some club or some organization. And in some cases, this could actually be about thieves as well at this time. And going back to the internet, I mean, I'm sure some of you people out there have had things come up on your screen, or you get something that looks like it's from a reputable source, and and they're asking you for your personal information, or our bank saying we're trying to verify this. So just be very careful at this time as far as that goes, because Mercury in Pisces could be about very duplicitous thieves. And of course, 11th house, I mean, I see that as connected with the internet, because it is connected with social media, so you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, next thing up, Mercury will be in Aries as far as April goes, from the 17th until the 30th. So the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, this can manifest perhaps in very direct, outspoken, and forthright conversations with people that are prominent in your private life. It could be an aunt or an uncle. This could also be, now in some cases I've stated previously, and as I just stated before actually, that Mercury can also be about siblings. This could be about Aries siblings. It could be Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aries-like characteristics, might drive you figuratively crazy at this time. It could be also, too, that at this time as well, that you might be thinking, really, I mean, Mercury in Aries could often be about pioneering and original ideas. You might be really coming up, formulating really good ideas, perhaps in private, in solitude, and seclusion. Now, also at this time, remember that Mercury can be about thieves as well. It could be about Aries thieves, Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Aries-like characteristics, might figure strongly perhaps in your secret sorrows at this time as well. So it's something to look at this time. And it could be too that, I mean, during this period, I mean, Taurus generally is not very talkative anyway, or loquacious, usually very taciturn and quiet. I mean, but at this time, you might even be less loquacious and voluble than usual. So anyway, and it could be talking very directly, very out in an outspoken manner regarding your own limitations and restrictions at this time as well. Now, anyway, last but not least, Venus will be in Pisces as far as April goes, from the 1st until the 20th. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, well, this may manifest perhaps in the enjoyment of Pisces-like things with your friends, with your acquaintances, such as the metaphysical, which can include astrology, poetry, dancing, photography, chemistry, perhaps, spirituality. It could also be about valuing spirituality in your groups and with your friends, with your acquaintances, valuing Pisces-like things. Also valuing perhaps self-sacrifice, altruism, and compassion, perhaps in humanitarian efforts and endeavors, in matters with your friends and acquaintances and groups as well. And also, really at this time too, this could be a time too, when you're talking about Venus and Pisces energy, I mean, this is a time during a transit when one, I would say, could be more susceptible to financial fraud and deception. So it's really, I mean, it's very important just to be careful at this time, and the people you deal with, your acquaintances, your friends, make sure they are veritable, they're actually authentic friends, and there are people that are, the acquaintances are people that you feel are trustworthy, if possible, and anybody that you know in some kind of group or club or organization at this time. And also be very careful regarding them, because this is a time where one may be more susceptible to financial fraud and deception. A lot of this, of course, could be predicated and dependent on aspects this makes to points in your chart. I mean, if this makes an adverse aspect to your natal Neptune, or let's say natal Neptune makes, let's say that transit Neptune is making an adverse aspect to your natal Venus, or even your second house cusp or second house ruler. This could be another indicator which could reinforce the the propensity for being susceptible to some kind of financial fraud or deception. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Taurus April 2019 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Taurus April 2019 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you. Make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.